Hi, my name is Heather, and this class is for grounding after a trip. So I'm thinking a vacation or some sort of traveling that you may have done, but it could also be technically after like a trip on acid or mushrooms, or some spiritual trip that you may or may not have taken and you're just looking to integrate and kind of come back to this place and feel safe again, secure, and ready to move back into your normal world. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to have you start in a seated position. You could use props, in any of the classes that I teach, but we'll try to do this class mostly without props. I'm saying that I'm sitting on props, but you don't have to be doing that. So if you have something you'd like to sit on, you can grab that. Otherwise, just picking any comfortable seated position that you like. We'll take a minute, close our eyes, really connect with our environment. So as you begin to close off your vision, starting to really tune into the feelings, the sensations that you are receiving, the feedback, the information that you're getting from your environment, from the space that you're in right now. And even with your eyes closed, you might be able to sense your surroundings, where the walls are in the room that you're in, any furniture, the feeling of the floor underneath you, the texture of the carpet or your yoga mat, the type of flooring it is, the temperature of the room, the sounds that you can hear, the smells that you can smell, the feeling of the clothes on your skin, the feeling of your seat, your position that you're in, the feeling of the points of contact on the floor between you and your body, between your body and the floor. Maybe you've already started to deepen your breath a little, maybe you haven't. Let's all begin that now, just deepening your inhale and exhale, which just means to make it take just a little bit longer to breathe, just a little longer inhale, a little slower exhale. Noticing the texture of your breath. Is it smooth? Is it bumpy? Is it smooth and bumpy? Do you feel more ease when you inhale or exhale? Just noting the qualities of your breath. Noticing any tension that you might be holding in the muscles around your eyes or around your mouth and nose. Any tension that you might be holding in your jaw, shoulders, palms of your hands, belly, pelvic floor, the space between your pubic bone and tailbone and sitting bones, lower back, knees, ankles, feet, crown of your head, forehead, scalp, the back of your neck, your upper back. And let's see if we can even tune into more subtle sensations that might be happening within you, the space around your heart, the muscles all along your spine, from your low back to the back of your head. any sensations you might be having in your belly, your chest, any concentrations of energy that you might be interpreting as anxiety or excitement, dis-ease, pleasure. Just taking note of all these things, all these messages that we're receiving all the time. We're so good at filtering, taking in the things that might be more loud or at least more important in the moment. So just taking this little bit of time here at the beginning of class to really receive the feedback from the different areas. So feeling into your brain, noticing any tension there. Your third eye area, space between your eyebrows, going back deeply in toward the center of your brain. Any tension around your spinal cord, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, your intestines, your reproductive organs. Maybe you can feel or notice something going on with your bones. The weight of the bones in your arms, the weight of the bones in your legs, the weight of your skull. Maybe they feel light. Maybe the weight is light. Just being curious, not necessarily trying to change anything or make anything be a certain way. It's just an observation, just a practice of seeing all the things. There is a lot to see. Once again, bring your awareness back to your breath. Breathing slowly and deeply. Let's start to bring some movement to our body. If your eyes are still closed, go ahead and open your eyelids. Notice how quickly the light comes rushing in, how quickly the impressions from our environment return. If you're sitting cross-legged like I am, go ahead and switch the leg that's in front. Feel free to change positions if you're seated and you're no longer comfortable. Bring your arms to your sides, turn your palms out to the side, and then reach your arms up. And as you do, look up, spread your fingers, bring your palms together somewhere overhead. And then as you exhale, turn your hands, palms out again, look down, and sort of drop your head as you reach toward the floor. And we'll do that a couple times. Inhaling, turn your palms out, reach out and up, look up. Exhale, reach out and down, look down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Feeling the movement of your shoulders. Exhale down, the movement of your neck. The strength of your hips and low back. Inhaling up. Any tension that might start to gather in the creases of your hips. Exhaling down. Keep going. Inhale, observing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. you're sitting on props, let's go ahead and move them off to the side or to the top of your mat somewhere where they'll be out of the way for a moment. Come to hands and knees, spread your fingers out really wide, knees underneath your hips. Let's take a little moment to give our wrists some love. Turn the back of your right hand to the floor, press your fingernails and thumbnail down, and then just start to do like little circles with your hips. As you do this, feeling the floor underneath your knees and hands, feeling the top of your feet resting on the ground or your toes tucked under, whichever you prefer. Feeling the movement at your spine, how you're holding your head. And then let's come off of that hand, tuck your toes underneath your feet. Make fists and do a couple wrist circles, just noticing the difference between your two wrists now. If it hurts for you to sit on your heels like that, keep your toes tucked under, but just stand on your knees. Okay, circle in the opposite direction with your wrists. Keep your breath moving slow and steady. Slow and steady. And then come back to the hands and knees position. This time turn so the back of your left hand is onto the ground. Pressing your fingernails and thumbnails down, same thing, little hip circles. Feeling your hands on the ground, your knees on the ground, the top of your feet on the ground. Feeling your spine, how you're holding your head, your breath. And then once again, as we come off of that left hand, right hand, tuck your toes under. Make fists, wrist circles, and then wrist circles in the opposite direction. Okay. Return to quadruped position, the hands and knees position. Hands wider than shoulder distance. Fingertips pressing down, spread your fingers out, pointer fingers pointing straight ahead. Let's do a couple pelvic tilts. So these aren't necessarily cat-cow. To begin with, trying to create sort of like neutral spine. I like to think about if somebody was sitting on my back, I wouldn't just collapse my back down, that would be uncomfortable. I would push up into their weight. From there, you're going to keep that feeling, start to rotate your pelvis so that your front of your pelvis comes closer to your thighs. The back of your pelvis lifts, so sitting bones lift, tailbone lifts, and then tuck your pelvis down like you have a little stinger at the end of your tailbone. You're trying to sting the mat. We'll go back and forth, moving at just the hips here at first. Like I said, this isn't cat-cow, these are pelvic tilts. You could be doing this with your toes tucked under or the top of your feet on the floor, whatever you prefer. Feel the ground underneath your knees, press down into your fingertips. Okay, let's turn these pelvic tilts into cat-cow. We'll get some movement at our neck. So as you inhale, lift your chin, look up, belly drops, tailbone and sitting bones lift. And as you exhale, tuck your tail toward the ground, round your upper back, and tuck your chin into your chest. Press down into the floor with your hands. So you'll inhale for cow pose, look up. Exhale for cat pose, look at your navel. And as you do this, feeling the movement at your spine, but not only your spine, your shoulder blades. You can bend and unbend your elbows if you like doing that, or you can keep your elbows straight. Really feeling into that connection with the floor, actively pressing down with your fingertips, actively pressing down with your knees. Okay, let's push back into child's pose position, but with your knees together instead of out wide. So you lay your belly on your thighs. You might have a block for your head or something, a pillow. Otherwise, you're going to let your head maybe hang, maybe it'll touch the ground, reaching your arms forward. Take a couple deep breaths. Now I know your thighs are touching your belly, so it kind of makes the breath a little bit restricted. That's okay. Your breath won't be as deep
as you could be doing this without, or as you could be breathing if we were in the normal or the regular child's pose that we're all used to. That's fine. And breathing as deeply as you can here, nice and slow. Good, take another breath there, feeling the weight of your body fully supported by the floor. Noticing how when you take a deep breath with your belly compressed, you really notice the breath moving into your upper back and the sides of your ribs. Just do one more breath there, nice and slow. And then come forward onto your belly. Arms resting at your sides. Place your left cheek on the ground. Take a breath. And then inhale, lift your head, turn your face to look toward the left, lay your right cheek on the ground. Take a deep breath. Really allowing the weight of your body to be fully supported. Bring your hands down underneath the front of your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows in slightly. Bring your forehead to the floor. As you inhale, lift just your head, look forward. Your chest will probably lift also as you lift your head as high as you can. And then exhale, bring your forehead back down to the mat. We're gonna do that a couple of times. We'll just squeeze the elbows, fingertips press down. Inhale, lift just your head so you're not pushing down with your hands. Exhale, bring your forehead back down. Last 2 times. Inhale, lifting your head. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift your head. Now interlace your fingers, making like a little cup for your forehead, elbows out to the side. You're gonna rest your forehead, third eye area, in the in the palms and fingertips of your fingers of your hands. Take a couple deep breaths there. Again, just feeling your body fully supported, your body in space, your hands on your body, your breath not only in the front of the body but in the back of your body. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and push up to kneeling plank position. So knees are behind the line of your hips, and then walk your knees forward. Take your right foot forward. If you've got sensitive knees, there's a little beetle here by me. You can take a blanket and place it underneath your left knee. We'll do a couple runner's lunges. So if you're coming back from a trip, you probably were sitting at some point for a while or standing. So these are really nice for that. You're gonna take your left knee far enough back that you start to feel a stretch in that left thigh. And we'll take a deep inhale here, look up. And then exhale, bring your hips back, lift your toes, and fold forward. So this leg may or may not come straight here at first, the right leg, and we're not gonna force it. Inhale, foot comes back down, chest lifts, look up. Exhale, hips come back, lift your right toes, fold over your right leg. Left toes can be tucked under or not, it's up to you. Inhale, lifting your chest, look up. Exhale, lift your toes, fold. So just moving back and forth. You can move at your own pace, at your own breath, being really interested in the movement, in what you're experiencing as you move. Maybe your right knee starts to straighten a little bit more. Have a little resistance there, or a little less resistance there in the hamstrings. Maybe not, maybe it just stays kind of tight. That's okay too. observing without needing things to be a certain way for them to be effective or worthy of doing. Really feeling the floor underneath your hands, underneath your foot, your feet, your knee. Inhale, coming forward. Take your right hand to your right thigh, and you're going to push down and forward and turn your chest toward the right as well for a very simple twist here. Some nice, long, slow breaths. It's good to do like familiar and simple things if we're trying to ground ourselves, if we're trying to bring ourselves back. We want to coax ourselves back by doing things that we feel confident in, that we feel skilled in. Nothing I offer today will be things that you could really do wrong. I don't want you to feel like any part of what we're doing today that you could be doing it wrong. Okay, so we're going to keep the leg front foot forward, but I want you to bring it back a little bit, especially if you were in a deeper lunge. So we're going to stand up, feet and left knee are hip distance apart, right foot and left knee. And then place your right hand on your right hip. Inhale, lift the left arm high. Exhale, side bend to the right. Nice stretch for your hip flexors here. And you can just look straight ahead. You might like to let your head sort of hang over to the right, or maybe you want to look up. You can explore that. Nice, another deep breath. Inhale, reaching the left arm up. Exhale, bringing your hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot so you can step back to down dog and walk in place for a moment there. Just stretching the back of your legs. Let your hips move. As you do this, get kind of sassy with it. Yeah. Really kind of twisting your hips as you walk in place. So the straight leg hip kind of lifts, the bent knee hip drops. You can get into the lower back and hips so that you can open up those places that get a little compressed as we do our tripping. Okay, bring your knees both back to the floor. This time, left foot is going to be forward. Like I said before, you might choose to grab a blanket underneath your knee because we're here for a second. And the knee can get uncomfortable. I don't want your joints to feel uncomfortable. We're starting in a bit of a lunge where you're getting some stretch in the right thigh, but it's not too crazy. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Runner's lunges. Take a deep inhale, lift your chest, look up, and then exhale. Bring your hips back at the same time. Lift your left toes and fold over your left leg. We're not trying to get the leg straight necessarily unless it just easily straightens. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Exhale, going back. Those nice, full, steady breaths. So moving to your own breath, just feeling things as they come up. Not trying to really achieve anything except for just the be here now concept, right? We're back, we're in our space, we're in our body at least, and we're in this moment. Next time you come forward, stay there. Bring your left hand to your left thigh, press down and forward, and then turn your chest to the left for a really nice, simple twisting position. And we're just gonna take a couple deep breaths here. Fill yourself up with breath one more time. Excellent. Bring your left hand down and then bring your left foot back a little bit so we come sort of out of a deeper lunge where our right thigh is not as stretched in this position. Come upright. Place your left hand on your hip, stretch your right arm up. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, side bend to the left. We're just looking for a stretch in that hip flexor on the right side, hip flexor area. We have a number of different hip flexor muscles that may or may not be feeling the stretch here. Also your lower back muscles. You might be going all the way down into your thigh, your outer thigh, just feeling and noticing those things. You might let your head hang to the side or look up. Really experiencing all the things in the pose. You feel your feet on the floor, your hand in the air, your hand on your hip. And then inhale brings you up. Exhale, both hands to the floor, tuck your back toes under, step back dog. And let's do those really hip sway type of walks in place. So as you bend one knee, that hip drops, the opposite leg, straight leg, that hip lifts, and we just go back and forth, sort of steering the hips side to side as we walk in place. Spread your fingers wide, feeling your hands on the floor, push the floor away from you. Good, and then come down onto your knees. Top of the feet on the floor, squeeze your ankles together and sit on your heels. If that's a lot to ask of you, if you do have a blanket or blocks nearby, you could sit on a block as you do this. And that would look like this. So this is either like a pretty, so my heels are squeezing in toward the block. It's like this if you're not using a block. So this is like a foot stretch, quad stretch for some of us. If your quads, the front of your legs here are pretty tight. We'll take another deep breath. Okay. Bring your hands forward. Move your feet over to the left and sit down behind your heels. Take the bottom of your right foot onto your left thigh. Flip your left foot and bring, so the top of your foot is on the floor, and bring that heel in. So my knees are a little bit wider than my hips here. It's not a right angle or 90-degree angle going on, like my foot isn't away from me, okay? It's right next to me. You're gonna turn toward that right knee and then fold over on top of it and just kind of squish the leg here. Drop your head towards your thighs and breathe. Now, your head might not touch your arms. You could even do this with your arms stretched forward with your head on something. I like to stack my arms and let my forehead rest on my hands. So just see what you like to do there with your head. Because I want you to let your head and neck muscles relax. And there's not really a lot to do here besides giving your weight to that right thigh. Left lower back, left leg are all totally relaxed. Breathing some deep breaths. taking another long, slow breath. Inhale, lift your head. And then exhale, sit all the way up. Switch your feet over to the right. Bottom of your left foot rests on your right thigh. You can flip to the top of your foot on that right foot. And then knees are wider than your hips. Turn your chest toward that left leg, left knee, and you're just gonna lay on top of it. Right side, right thigh are all relaxed. And stack your hands, your forearms, or reach your hands forward, whatever you prefer. Maybe something underneath your head other than your arms. Just see what you've got around. And then as much as you can, you're just resting here, feeling the floor fully supporting you, your body soft and safe. Breath moving slowly and deeply. Notice how your breath changes as you begin to relax. Your shoulders soften, your jaw. And take one last super deep breath here. Inhale, lift your head. And then exhale, sit all the way up. Bring the bottom of your feet together for Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Hold on to your toes. Press your outer thighs toward the ground. Inhale, lift your chest up, look up. Pull your lower back in and up. And then exhale, fold forward over your legs. And let your head hang. Breathing slow, deep breaths. As you're here, reminding yourself that nothing has to happen. No big shift needs to occur. You don't have to be doing anything correctly. It's okay to just be doing simple things. It's okay to just be feeling yourself breathing. On your next inhale, lift your head. And then exhale, sit all the way up. Find your way onto your back. With your knees bent and feet on the floor, take your feet out wide so that they're at least like touching the edges of your mat, and then drop your knees towards each other so that your legs don't really have to hold each other, or they don't have to hold themselves up. They're kind of just suspended there just by the position. Notice if you're comfortable or not. If your low back is feeling not so happy, you might slide your hands underneath your lower back just to give yourself a little bit more support. From here, begin to close your eyes. So before we go to Shavasana today, I want to do a little breathing exercise where we extend the exhale. If this starts to give you more anxiety, specifically because this class is meant to give you or help you deal with any maybe anxiety or tension that you have left over, I want you to just switch to deep breathing or just go right into Shavasana for this breathing exercise. Otherwise, I'll have you do a breathing exercise where we extend our exhale. Now, extending the exhale is supposed to help our nervous system shift into a parasympathetic response where we can rest and feel safe and have some of the processes like digestion and like I said, just even feelings of safety instead of like the go, 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 I need to solve, I need to fix, I need to feel better, you know? We're just allowing, accepting, and digesting. So here we go. We'll start with a cleansing breath. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever feels comfortable. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And then the rest will be all through your nose. So we'll start out simple and easy. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Little change here. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slow. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Soft. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shifting into your natural breath, noticing anything. Do you need to change positions? Choose a position that's comfortable with your legs. It doesn't have to be straight legs. If you had your hands underneath your lower back, maybe your back is more accepting of laying flat on the floor now. Place your hands on your belly. And if you have like a blanket or something or a pillow, maybe you're going to put that on your belly or your heart. Having some weight on our bodies can sometimes be really comforting in moments where we need to ground and center ourselves. From here, we'll take a couple moments in Shavasana. Let it just be how it is. Let yourself be how you are. Feel yourself laying on the ground. The points of contact behind your head, arms, upper back, hips, thighs, calves, heels, whatever's touching the floor, feel into it. Notice the position of your body, the feeling of your clothes on your skin. If your hands are still resting on your body, please place them next to your sides. If your knees are bent or you have any props underneath your legs, please remove those and take your legs flat onto the ground. Just start to pull your toes towards your shins and then point your toes forward. And then start to dig your heels into the ground as you do this so that when you make the movement of pointing and flexing your ankles and your feet, that you feel your body start to move. So keeping your heels digging in, start to make those pointing and flexing of your ankles a little quicker so that your body starts to sort of bounce up and down. So your heels have to stay stuck to the floor in order for this to work. And you're just letting this rhythmic bouncing kind of seal in and help out this parasympathetic response of our nervous system. It's a real thing, a real quality that we all possess. But for some of us, we kind of live in this like more low-key, low energy place. And we actually might need to do more vigorous bouncing, right? A little quicker ankle movement. And for some of us, maybe it's a little slower. You might notice how you're choosing to take this. Notice if you're going pretty quick or slow or more at a medium pace. Just notice. Just like the rest of class, we're not necessarily trying to make anything any different. We want to receive all the messages. It just feels good to be heard. Even our bodies want to be listened to. And we'll start to make that movement less and less. And then take a deep breath there on the ground, feeling things. And then rolling over onto your side. Start to prop yourself up into a seated position, where you can sit up tall comfortably with very little effort. Rest your hands wherever they're comfortable, maybe in Anjali Mudra, prayer mudra in front of your heart. The yoga poses, yoga asana, can provide us with such great insight somatically for connecting the dots between our emotions and how they're being displayed and how they're being integrated or how they're not being integrated in our bodies. It's awesome to take the time to truly listen. In honor of each other in this practice, in honor of the teachers who brought this practice to us, and in honor of the native people whose land we practice on, we'll sing one Om. Take a deep inhale. I appreciate